All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. When I first started filming these videos, this is how I did it in the woods. So what are we doing today? I am talking about these scales. Original goat scales on the Spyderco Yojimbo. Aren't they pretty? And it comes with this clip. So hopefully you got a good view there. Now I'm going to go back to my view over here. All right, so what do I think about these things? First of all, this knife, I think, needed new scales for me, right? What I didn't like about it is the G10 was kind of rough, and it just tears up your pocket. I don't really like the Spyderco peel ply textured G10. It doesn't really speak to me. I saw these scales, and it's beautiful, and I'm like, this knife needs something, and I bought them, and I am definitely not unsatisfied with them. Original Goat did a great job. The fit and finish is okay, and that's where I'm going to get with this review here. So anytime I ever say anything negative, I'm just going to say this right up front. Anytime I ever say anything negative about a product, you got a lot of people that are very loyal to a brand, which I understand, and I just want you to not get upset with me. What I'm doing is I'm giving you my opinion about it. So these are great scales, and I would recommend them to anyone. I don't know if they're going to make another batch of this, so I'm sure they will if enough people do. But this review is about the company too, Original Goat. So they are making some amazing designs. Most of their work is in aluminum, and they have some Spydercos and a Deca. I think the Deca 2. You can get aluminum scales for that, and I forget. I think there's a couple of Spydercos in there. This was might be, like I say, a one-off, but they had said they took the money in advance, and then they said it'd be like 4 to 6 weeks, and then it turned out to be like 3 months or longer, which was fine. I mean, and they were very responsive as a company, definitely very responsive. No complaints there. No, their fit and finish on this is very, very good, with the exception that all the corners, every single corner was squared off, so it was sharp. I mean, you grabbed this knife and squeezed it, and it was hot city everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. The corners, all the edges, everywhere, but there's a ridge line here. You can't even see it probably, but the scale, let me see. Yeah, let me see. The scale is, I don't know if you can see that. I'm sorry if you can't, but scale's higher on one side. So there's like a ridge line here. That was smooth, right? But every single edge on the outside, the inside, the corners, everything was sharp. And so, it don't bother me, right? Because I'm taking a Dremel. I took a Dremel and some compound that I have and some wheels. I mean, I have this stuff, and I just sat there, and it's almost a joy to get something that you need to do something to it. I mean, it's at that point, it's a free entertainment after you just spent a lot of money, right? So, so that's good, right? The glass is half full, right? That's the way I like to look at life. Glass is always half full. But anyway, so I took a Dremel and I smoothed the heck out of everything, and that worked out really well. But the other thing that they did that is, and you probably can't see, I don't know, man, there's like lines where they either cut out, lasered out, or like, I don't know, you see like everywhere there's uneven lines. Now, I am not anal at all, and I could give a hoot about these lines. Yeah, okay. So, and I really didn't give a hoot that they didn't spend any time chamfering any corner anywhere on this. But I'm just letting you know that's what I got, right? It's a beautiful knife. It has transformed this knife. I think it was like $160, which seemed fair. I mean, there's working for a living, but at the 160, I think I would like it to have been a little bit more finished. And for me as a customer, it don't matter. And trust me when I say it don't matter. So that's the review. Original Goat. The positive part of this experience with this is that it's aesthetically beautiful. I think all the parts went together perfectly. Right? It was amazing. What wasn't so great is every single edge was sharp, and I don't know if you could tell, like it's gleaming in the sun or not, but you know, they didn't invest any time in that, and I think they were behind in schedule too. I'm going to cut them some slack because at the end of the day, they delivered. It was a little rush job, I think, personally, and when I say rush job, it was twice as long as they promised, but they still got it done, you know, in a very busy schedule for them, right? I mean, they're just backlogged, right? And it was weird because at one point I had written them, I think a couple of times, right? Just saying, first I just wanted to see if they were going to respond and if they were like alive or something. I don't know. It was just so long. I mean, it was double. Anyway, and they were very responsive. I mean, I'll give them that. They were very and nice and, you know, and quick in their response. So said all the right things, and they offered me my money back. So, which was great. The worst thing people could do is view these videos as me criticizing anything, right? I'm not. I am reviewing this scale and the purchasing experience and the ownership experience, and that's why you're here, I would think. You know, I take no pleasure in saying anything bad about any product, especially since I paid for it. Everything you see that in this channel is I paid for, right? Nothing was sponsored or anything. So I've written them a couple of times saying, you know, hey, what's going on? And they had said, you know, there were production delays and that this particular scale had to go through a machine, like a particular machine is the way I understood it. It may be because it's contoured. I'm sure there's a lot more to this than it is, right? But they gave me a reasonable explanation, and I said, oh, okay. And I've always said, oh, okay. I mean, I've never got the feeling that the company was going to in any way rip me off. And they were, like I said, very responsive. They offered a refund. The wait time was almost 3 times the original quote. So while I was waiting, they were advertising other scale runs, like, you know, send your money in to, you know, I think, it was a Christmas sale. That's what it was. They had a Christmas sale, and I was thinking about, let me get something else, right? But it was going to be, because they were offering like 20% off or something. And, but I knew I think they were like 12 weeks behind on this one. So I didn't want to order anything at that point. So would I buy from them again? And the point is, I was going to, but I didn't because I wasn't really sure how long I was going to have to wait. And I didn't really want anything, right? So if I really wanted it, like I wanted this one, then yeah, I would wait, and I did wait. And I'm satisfied after I invested some time in chamfering everything. And like, if you don't have a Dremel and a wheel and the compound, then you're going to need to invest in that if you had gotten this one and put that effort into it. So I'm not sure that was done because the Original Goat was just so busy and they just took way too many orders and they were still taking more orders, or you know, that was just a one-off, right, on this one. So what does that mean as a review? That is up to you, right? And I think I summed it up. If you don't mind waiting and you don't mind doing a little extra work because they're booking too much business for their capacity, then you may want to just, I don't know. All right. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you later. Bye. And don't forget to subscribe.